Welcome to the Cake Therapy Podcast, a slice of joy and healing with your host, Dr. Altricia Foster. This is a heartwarming and uplifting space that celebrates the transformative power of baking therapy. The conversations will be a delightful blend of inspirational stories, expert insights, and practical baking tips. Each episode will take listeners on a journey of self-discovery, emotional healing, and connection through the therapeutic art of baking. There's something here for everyone, so lock in and let's get into it.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Cake Therapy Podcast, your slice of joy and healing with me, your host, Dr. Altricia Foster. I am extremely grateful to all of you who join us and is back weekly to hear from us about the stories that are shared on our podcast. Your listenership means a lot to us, okay? We want to continue to build out this digital space or this digital community. So I am encouraging you to share our podcast or episodes on your platforms. Remember to tag the Cake Therapy Foundation and just help us to, grow our community here over at the Cake Therapy Foundation and the Cake Therapy Podcast. Today, I'm excited about this young lady who is joining us on the podcast. She's incredible. She's the new wave, y'all. She is Miss Victoria Kyereme. She's the founder and executive director of Girls Dream Code in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Her mission is really about girls. She wants to empower girls of color and low-income communities to explore and pursue careers in tech. Yep, she's our tech guru. And as a senior software engineer, Victoria knows firsthand how powerful tech skills can be, not only in opening doors to careers, but also in building confidence, community, and a sense of belonging in girls. She founded this nonprofit in 2020. Girls Dream Code, like I mentioned, provides free tech programs to girls 10 through 24, where she creates space where they can learn, grow, and thrive in the STEM field. In today's episode, we'll be diving into Victoria's journey, her vision for the future of tech, and why it is important, or why she deems it important to give girls of color the tools and resources that they deserve, and that so that they can, in fact, succeed. What I want to explore also in today's episode is how Girls Dream Code and Victoria is really making a lasting impact, and why tech. Why is tech such an essential field for empowerment, and how can we support her and this incredible work? So I'm excited to dive into the fascinating and inspiring conversation. As both Girls Dream Code and the Cake Therapy Foundation, guess what? We share a similar goal. We want to empower girls in meaningful and impactful ways. So welcome, Victoria, to the Cake Therapy Podcast. We're happy to have you.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
How you doing, girl?
I'm doing good.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm doing good. It was Memorial Day weekend, so back to the grind.
Mm-hmm. So you are a software engineer, and like I mentioned in the intro, that you founded Girls Dream Code, and it's truly inspiring. I think we have not the same modality at Cake Therapy, but we serve the same community of girls, low-income girls. We try to empower girls to become their best selves, and in your case, you're teaching them that tech matters. But I would like to know from you, with outside of that illustrious bio that Stephanie put together for you, who is Victoria outside of your bio? Share with us a little bit.
Okay. Yeah, so just a little bit about me, I guess, outside of the elevator pitch type of talk, but I am an immigrant. I am originally from Ghana, West Africa, And I came to this country and to Minnesota when I was really young. I came with my parents. And so just being an immigrant as well, woman of color, first generation, neither of my parents went to college. I just knew that I had to overcome a lot of different hurdles, especially growing up where I grew up in Minnesota. And so that's really what drove me to want to really advocate for girls that look like me in whatever kind of capacity. It just so happens to be in STEM and in tech, but I just always had that passion for trying to just advocate for Black and brown girls, underrepresented girls, just because of just different things that I grew up, that I went through growing up and things like that. So just wanting to, be that safe space for girls that they can look up to. So a little bit more about me. I have a twin sister. That's my only sibling. And I like to travel. I travel a lot. I can't keep count now, but I think it's been 13 or maybe 14 countries, maybe more now, but I really like to travel. And fun fact, I played the clarinet for I think 8 years.
Oh, wow.
High school. I really enjoy playing the clarinet. So that's a little fun fact about me. And yeah, it's kind of...
Those are a lot of fun facts. You're a twin and you play the clarinet. But one thing we have that's similar is we are immigrants. I'm a Jamaican.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm a Jamaican in Minnesota, child, and it's not easy. What got you into tech, though? Talk about your own path into tech.
Yeah, so after high school, I was, I went to North Dakota State for my undergrad. That's in Fargo, North Dakota. So cold up there. That's where I went for my undergrad. And originally my dad, this is a very common thing with African parents, probably, Caribbean parents too, but they always want you to go to medical school or just, be a lawyer or just something like that,
Yeah.
And so I went to North Dakota State being a pre-pharmacy major because my dad told me to do it. But I didn't really know anything about computer science. I didn't know anything about engineering, nothing about it. And I was I got good grades in high school, but I wouldn't say I gravitated towards STEM. I just studied really hard so that I could, get good grades and things like that. But I didn't really know what I wanted to major in. So I went into college my freshman year being a pre-pharmacy major, and I was taking the different courses organic chem, all that stuff. And I don't know, it was just something that I was just if I stopped at a bachelor's degree, what could I do with this? You know what I mean? And I'm do I want to be in a lab? I don't know, if I didn't go to pharmacy school is what I was kind of thinking. And so I just was undecided. I declared my major undecided my sophomore year, and I was just taking different classes. So I tried taking at NDSC what's called Human Development and Family Science, so kind of that social sciences area. So because I thought maybe I could be a social worker. So I was taking some of those classes. I also took I took Calc 1 and Calc 2 and different things like that, because I thought maybe I could be a math teacher, so mathematics education. And then I also stumbled upon a intro to programming class. I honestly didn't even know what that was, but I was just I'm taking random classes, let me just see what this is about. And this was in the computer science department. This was the spring of my sophomore year. And I really enjoyed that class because it was challenging, but it was a different kind of challenge, because organic chem was challenging. That human development and family science course was challenging, as well as Calc 2 and all that stuff. But the programming class was a different kind of challenge where it's really like you can really be creative with your solutions or how you approach the problem with coding. And so I kind of just like dived more into like, okay, what is this computer science major? And originally I thought maybe I would major in management information systems, which is kind of a combination of computer science and business. Mm-hmm. So it's a business school. And so because I just kind of thought like, I don't know if I can do computer science, like, I don't know if I'm capable of doing it because it's like a lot of hardcore like math and like theory and all that stuff. So I just didn't know if I could do that. I thought maybe I should do management information systems because at the time it was a mix of business classes and like the programming classes, but you didn't have to get too in depth with like math and statistics and like the, like all that stuff, at least at North State. And so, but then I looked at the amount of credits needed to graduate, and I was like, oh, I could graduate. Like the MIS, like, because it was in the business school, like they just had a lot more business credits and stuff. And I was just like, okay, college is not free, time is ticking. I need to declare a major and just stick with it. So I stuck with computer science and I declared that as my major. And it definitely was not easy because I didn't really have a lot of like guidance or knew other older students that majored in it.
Yeah.
To really like connect with or just like kind of like because I was sometimes I would be involved with the African Student Union like on my campus, but a lot of those people were engineering majors like electrical, mechanical. So we're not like, so some of our classes are different. And as well with the females that were there, a lot of them were in like the health, like nursing or that kind of space. And so again, like I just didn't really have that like somebody I could really like, go to that's like been in the major to really kind of like be that mentor for me. And so I just had to like figure out this computer science degree on my own and, reach out to professors for help and for my own study groups with my classmates and stuff, because, it definitely was a journey. But I really, looking back at it, I did enjoy that program, even though it was challenging, because it got me to this point, where I'm able to create that safe space for young girls to learn about computer science and tech. Because now we see it's like taking over, so yeah.
So that's what I was like wondering. It's like you having to create a space for yourself while in university. Do you think that was the impetus behind you creating Girls Dream Code? And why? Why did you feel like you needed to do that?
Yeah, I feel like during my undergrad, I can remember like a few study groups that I had that surprisingly had a lot of women in it. There are a lot of white women, but there were women in it. But there weren't a lot of us. Like there really weren't that many of us at all. Like, and as far as like Black people, it was not that many. It was predominantly white men and then like Asian or like Indian guys as well. But it was like, we're already a minority being like women in this like major, but then like I didn't really see that many like Black women in my program. And so that really like just kind of going through college without having like that like mentorship or guidance or anything like that, like I definitely feel like it inspired me as well. When I started Girls Dream Code, I was already working in the industry for about 3 years at that point, or 3 or 4 years at that point. And again, like I just feel like throughout my career, I just haven't had like that mentor, or when I tried to, like maybe I feel like I found one, it just, I don't know, like, so I just never really like found that. And also growing up, like I did not have any kind of a program like what Girls Dream Code is for like young girls to learn coding and stuff like that. So after college, I actually moved to Chicago because I wanted something different, like I grew up in Minnesota, went to North Dakota. I'm like, I need to change it up. I need to change up my scenery.
You moved to Chicago. Why not the East Coast?
I didn't know anybody there. I just moved. I knew like this was my senior year of college.
Yeah.
I was only applying to jobs in like Chicago because I was just like, I just want to change,
Yeah.
So that's what I did. And then like when I did that, they just had more things there. That was the first time I even heard about like a girls who code or a Black girls code, and tech girls. So actually my first time volunteering with an organization like that was with Black Girls Code. And I just enjoyed myself. Like it was just so cool. Like the workshop I did was like I was volunteering at they were doing like robotics and different things. It was like a day-long workshop in Chicago, and it was just like we didn't have anything like this in Minnesota, and there were so many young Black girls there. Like I just thought it was just so cool. And then after that event, I volunteered more with another organization called Tech Girls, which is just for like middle school girls in the Chicago area, that specific chapter. And I was actually teaching the workshops now, still volunteering, but I was teaching the workshops. So we would do like an intro to like JavaScript or Python and different things like that. And I would like be hosting these workshops. And I just got just a sense of fulfillment because I knew how difficult computer science was for me. And so it made me like fulfilled when I'm like able to teach young girls concepts that maybe they think like is way too hard for them, because like that's what I was like thinking when I was trying to pick out my major. Like I don't think I'm capable for computer science. Like this looks intense, and I was like doubting myself. But I did it. I stuck with it and I did it. Graduated magna cum laude. I did. And then I went on to grad school. I got like all A's in grad school, computer science master's. And so, I just really just have this sense of fulfillment that like I'm able to teach these girls these concepts that maybe they think is too challenging for them, but they realize that.
I can do it. Yeah. So you talk about for Girls Dream Code, you want to create a safe space. What is how do you define a safe space in the context of tech?
Yeah, so I think it goes back to what I was just saying about really being in a room or just being in a classroom where you're seeing the instructor who looks like you or has shared experiences with you, that's teaching you these concepts, and you don't feel like you're not feeling this imposter syndrome, or you're not feeling like, oh, I'm asking a dumb question, like nothing like that. Like you're in this space to really like just, be full on curious, like let your curiosity roam, ask all the questions, like nobody's judging you, like we're all in this together. We all have similar or shared experiences or come from similar backgrounds. And we're all learning these really cool concepts. And, no matter what stage you're at, some students may be more advanced than others, but, we're all in this space to learn these things with absolutely no judgments and, going at your own pace. A lot of our programs, we do it in cohort style because we really want to, focus on community building as well. Because with young girls, that is a really big piece, like them feeling like they have like somebody in their corner, and them feeling like they have this confidence now that they're more than capable of learning these things that society is deemed as like for the boys or for the white boys or something like that. You know what I mean? So that's really what we define as that safe space, inclusive space.
I love that you guys are intentional about ensuring that the space is truly safe for girls, and especially girls of color, which leads me to my next question for you is, how important is it for girls of color to see people who look like themselves in the tech field? And how do you see the next generation of girls making an impact on the tech industry itself?
Yeah, so I think it's really important, and there definitely have been studies that have been done that shows like when Black students, Black or brown students, have teachers that, reflect their experiences, they tend to, just have that willingness to do better or to try a bit better and different things like that. And so I think it's really important also for them to see that, like to actually see that representation. It could be one thing just like, okay, yeah, like they're telling me to do this, but I ain't seen nobody do it. You know what I mean? But it's just, this is somebody like right in front of your face. That's a engineer or, X, Y, and Z, and they're teaching you these things. It's showing you that one day, like, that could be you if you put your mind to it. And that there's somebody that looks like you that's doing it. It's not impossible. So that's really what I think as well. And then this is the other part too. And I do a lot of reading. And this is something I've read about specific teachers that, teach in environments that is, very, very diverse. They may not have the cultural tools to teach in a culturally responsive way. And it's sometimes not their fault because just like, well, they don't live in those experiences, but then they may or may not have the training or whatever to, know how to teach like in a culturally responsive way. And so, when we try to carve out our curriculum or develop our curriculum for our programs, we really try to reflect that and make sure that, our programs are also culturally responsive as well, because those are the students that we serve. And, we don't want to, be tone deaf or, teach in a certain way that makes them not feel safe. Because they may or may not get that in their schools. So we don't want them to get that here.
Yeah, absolutely. So in a dream world for, I would say, girls dream code, what is your vision for the organization? How do you see yourself, or where do you see the organization in like 5 years time? And what is the impact that Victoria would like Girls Dream Code to make in the tech industry?
That is a great question. People ask me that all the time. And we actually just celebrated our 5 years. It's been 5 years. Yeah. And so, thank you. So in another 5 years, or another 5 to 10 years, where I really see Girls Dream Code going is serving even more girls of color in the Twin Cities, and really honing in on the pipelines that we want to establish. And it starts small, but it starts from somewhere. And so when I say pipelines, I really mean like from that interest to like the education and training to, going to either like formal education, like technical college or a 4-year college, or a boot camp. And then having those partnerships with employers, especially in Minnesota, because the tech economy is growing in Minnesota, to really create those pipelines so that like it's really like a full-on supported pipeline where it's just like from that initial interest, because that's our mission. We want them to pursue this interest in tech. So from that interest to the education training to the formal education to pursue these degrees in computing and then jobs. And so that's kind of like the pipeline that we really want to hone in on and establish.
Yeah. How many girls have you served over the last 5 years? And how far has a girl gone, or the girls have gone?
We have served over 200 or so now. When we first started, so we started in the beginning of 2020, and then we had our first event, went really well, and then COVID happened. definitely did not. That was not on my bingo card in 2020. And so we had to pivot to do online workshops. And so with that, we were able to obviously reach a lot more people because we're doing virtual workshops. So it can, girls from all over the place, will register for our virtual workshops. Yeah. And then around 2022, late 2021, when things were allowed to be like hybrid and things like that, we started doing like hybrid programs and things like that, like in person. And so now we really focus on making a deep impact in a smaller way, because we want to focus on that community building. And so we do like cohorts each semester that we host a program. It's always in a cohort setting, and we keep the class sizes small, like about like 10 students maximum, just because that student to teacher ratio is actually really important. When you're in a class with like 20 people trying to learn concepts like computer science, it's not easy, and it doesn't help the instructor and teaching assistant either. And so basically we really try to focus on, smaller cohorts so that the girls can really get to know each other, so that the instructors and teaching assistants can really provide quality education and help the students with whatever pace that they're at. And so your other question was, how far has it gone, girl? So we've had a couple of our students. So our age range is from like middle school, high school, and then like that college age, young women, young adult age. So it's like from 10 to 24. And so we have different programs that cater to the different age groups. And so we've had actually multiple of our students that were in our college internship program do our programs and actually get internships at big tech companies, which is like really great. Like this shows like the pipeline, and I actually got feedback from some of those students that during their interviews, like all they talked about was what they did at Girls Dream Code. And, and if they may or may not have had that experience, like, maybe they wouldn't have had certain like talking points or different things, or, answer certain questions and stuff. So it just really goes to show like, oh, wow, I may think like, I'm just doing something small, but like, I never know, you know what I mean? And so, yeah.
Yeah, it's having a great impact. The impact is huge. So if a girl wants to join, how does she get in touch, with Girl Dream Code?
Yeah, so each program that we do, we will always post our flyers on our social media. Follow us at Girls Dream Code. And so we always post it there, as well as on our website, we have like an email list that students or parents or just community members can subscribe to. So we always send it out to that email list as well. And then we always have the registration link on our website as well. But that's really how we do it. That's how girls can sign up. Like I said, our cohorts are small. So, it's only a handful, but
first come, first serve.
Well, a little bit of that, but also a little bit of just like, so we, in our registration or application, I should say, we do have a small section that really, we want to know, why they want to join, mainly for the younger, like the middle school and high school girls. There's usually like a paid training stipend attached to it too. You got to give these kids incentives, but but with that, we can't accept everybody. So yeah, and we really want to make it a quality program. So, those that really want to, are curious to learn, or just like, want to learn more about tech or computer science, or want to try something new, or making friends, we love that. So then we welcome that.
and of course, you could expand if you had funding. So let's talk about let's encourage these folks to donate. How do they donate to Girls Dream Code?
Honestly, because we probably could do like, but cohorts would still be small, like 10 girls max, but we could do multiple cohorts a semester.
Yeah.
You know, if we, and then like, multiple instructors and teaching assistants, because I definitely need them. They're very crucial. And so, yeah, I definitely think like with more funding, that, and especially in these times right now.
Oh, I know, girl.
Yeah, like the more funding, the more stable, our organization is as well, and the more we're able to increase our capacity and serve more girls. Operate more cohorts, and have the capacity to explore these different ideas and create new curriculum, new programs, as well as form new partnerships, like I said, with that pipeline. So yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
What saddens me is the lack of funding for girls and the further lack of funding for girls of color. So I'm imploring our listeners, if they want to donate, they can go to your website and hit donate.
Yes. There is a donate link on our website in the menu, as well as on the homepage as well.
Yep.
We're a 501c3, so your donation is tax deductible. But yeah, honestly, like the support from, corporate foundations or family foundations or private foundations, sometimes it can be a little wishy-washy, especially when it comes to the development of youth of Black girls. It's just kind of sad. It is kind of sad to see. I don't really like to compare myself at all. It's hard not to, especially with social media and things like that. But I'll see some different STEM organizations. I'm not going to name any names, but we'll see some different organizations. And of course, they've been around a lot longer than me. So, I feel like I'm just like Girls from Pills just coming into the game. So, it could be that too, their longevity. But I'll see kind of what's going on with them. And, I'll see all the funding that they get. And I'm just thinking in my mind, we're doing similar work and or maybe just a little bit different in terms of just the way we operate, but we're seeing the impact, we're seeing the testimonials from our students and how it's just different and unique, but we don't get noticed. You know what I mean?
We're doing so much with so little for the girl. You speak of not getting equal recognition as our counterparts. Of course, Cake Therapy, same issue, right?
Yeah.
What I stay motivated because I simply feel like I've been called to this. I'm walking in my purpose, and I get that from our conversation as well, that you feel like you have to give back in this way because you did not have a roadmap to getting to where you wanted to go or where you ended up, right? But what is keeping you motivated and inspired to keep doing this?
Yeah, I really think for me, I really enjoy the students that I meet. Maybe some other founders or executive directors aren't as hands-on, but I each cohort. I'm in the classroom meeting. Even if I'm not teaching, I started out teaching the workshops because you gotta do it all at the beginning. But I still come to the workshops. I just really enjoy meeting the students and making them feel comfortable. And just even if we're just striking up a conversation about this one girl was talking about she likes to braid, she braids her own hair, and we're just talking about just girl stuff or just random stuff, and I just really enjoy the girls that I get to meet, and then showing them or them exploring new things that maybe they didn't know about, and just seeing that confidence grow, because at the end of each program we have graduations where they can kind of showcase what they've learned and different things like that to their friends and family and their peers, and just listening to what some of these students say and things like that. I just really get joy out of that, and it, motivates me really to keep going. And as well, still to this day, it's been 9 years, almost 10 years of me being in this tech industry. And I can count how many females I've worked with, like on a software engineering team, as well as like how many female managers I've had, or, you know, how many other Black people or Latinas. Like, it's still a problem. Like, you know, we still need that representation. So that part also keeps me going, you know. Because when there has been women on my team, even if they were white women, I just felt like a sense of just like, I'm more comfortable to approach them with a question, because maybe like I won't feel that sense of just like, oh, I'm probably asking a dumb question, or you know what I mean? Like,
Well, I love the work that you're doing. I love that we serve the same girls. You know, we talked about this earlier. The Cake Therapy Foundation serves girls of color in Minneapolis, Minnesota as well. We do want to empower them through the kitchen. So I love what you do, and I want to thank you for creating this awesome program, Girls Dream Code. And I love the impact that you've made over the last half decade. Your team's amazing. You guys are doing a great job.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for giving me the gift of your time today. To our listeners, I want to thank you for listening. Thank you for listening to Victoria. And if you're dreaming code, you know, hit up Girls Dream Code. Hit up Victoria, her team. And if you are interested in supporting STEM and girls in code, go ahead on Girls Dream Code's website and hit that donate button. Your support is meaningful to them. But before you go, I want to share a mindful moment. I encourage you first to take a deep breath. I want you to take a deep breath in and another one out. Now imagine a world where every girl, no matter her zip code, her skin tone, or her starting point, where she feels like she belongs in every room, especially in rooms filled with innovation, creativity, and code. Until next time, thank you for joining us on the Cake Therapy Podcast, your slice of joy and healing. Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in to the Cake Therapy Podcast. Your support means the world to us. Let us know what you thought about today's episode in the comment section. Remember to subscribe wherever you get your podcast. And if you found the conversation helpful, please share it with a friend. Also, follow Sugar Spoon Desserts on all social media platforms. We invite you to support Cake Therapy and the work we do with our foundation by clicking on the Buy Me a Coffee link in the description, or by visiting the Cake Therapy website and making a donation. All your support will go towards the Cake Therapy Foundation and the work we are doing to help women and girls. Thanks again for tuning in, and we'll catch you on the next episode.